What could today's corporate estate agents learn from the rise and fall of Countrywide? Today, I'm joined by John Hards, who used to be the boss man of Countrywide residential lettings, the 700 or 800 branch network at its peak. He has been through the ups and downs and seen everything. Thank you for joining me today, John.
Welcome,
And
Chris.
thank you for inviting me to your lovely home overlooking the wonderful harbour of Foy.
Very lucky. Yes, to be here we are. Yes, very lucky.
Anyway, there are certain large estate agency firms backed by venture capitalists who are buying up estate agents, very similar to what you did in 2008, 9, 10. You know, at its point, Countrywide was worth an awful lot of money and sold for basically the contents of a wallet very cheap.
Eventually.
So what could these larger firms, whose names shall remain nameless, learn from the Countrywide rise and fall?
Well, mate, I mean, some of the mistakes. I mean, the climb of Countrywide, the growth in Countrywide was because it was run by people who loved the business and understood it inside out. They were estate agents and good business people. The decline came when we were trying to turn it to retail, or the board wanted to turn it to a retail business. And it's not a retail. We don't sell like Halfords or Currys, or it's about people. The whole thing is about people. So it's value the people that know what they're doing.
Isn't it interesting that I worked for the Halifax, and in this last few years, it was turning into retail.
It isn't retail. Retail is a different thing, where you have products that you can sell. You sell a suit or a shirt or whatever it happens to be, but we're selling a service. Our agency is selling a service. You're selling yourself, actually. You're wanting the customer to buy into you. And that you need to have good experience. You need to be genuine and honest and understand what you're doing. Understand the local market.
Do you need to be an estate agent, or in your case, letting agent, to be able to run these businesses?
Possibly not, but you need that background knowledge.
Okay.
So I think you can always teach people to be good, but you can't change their culture, their nature. So having the right type of person, you can train them to do anything, and that's if they've got the right attitude.
Attitude's everything.
So what I was going to say is, you recruit for ability and sack for attitude.
There you go.
That's the whole point of what you want in your, you want people with the right attitude. You can give them the ability. If they've got that desire and they are loyal.
Do you think, I mean, we're talking in July 2025, that the average agent, property manager, negotiator's salary is minimum wage. If you roll the clock back 10 years, we were like 30-40%.
Well, they're probably climbing as a basic salary all the time, because that's the way the world is going. But actually, you want people, I mean, it depends what job they're doing. Property managers don't have a great ability to earn lots of commission as a neg does. So you want a neg geared to doing
here's the thing. Should property managers just be paid a decent salary and forget the commission?
Probably. I mean, we paid property managers a decent salary. It was important to do so, because you want people to stay. You don't want a turnover in property. You want them to understand and know those properties inside out. Manage them for years, actually.
Because that is a godforsaken, underpaid, godforsaken job. Because all you're dealing with is problems all the time.
Yes. I mean, what you want to do is build a rapport with the landlord and the tenants, build a rapport. So you want someone that can do that and speak to people nicely, but it is a difficult job, that one. Undervalued.
Now, as you know, I do the stat show each week, and what scares me is that the silent killer of letting agencies, OpenRent. If you roll the clock back to 2019, 5 or 6% of UK rental properties went through OpenRent. Now it's 18%, and the scary thing is, half of that 18% were previously on the market with a high street agent. Why are so many letting agents losing so much property?
I suppose the margin for landlords has reduced, and it's going to encourage them to go a lower cost option.
But there's lower cost and higher value. Am I jumping in? Sorry.
Yeah. So, but having experts, because it's fraught with problems. And some landlords will always have an easy ride. They get a good tenant, the agent finds the best tenant, they qualify them properly, make sure they're going to pay their rent, make sure they look after it. maybe, you know, talk to them on a regular basis. It makes a big difference. But, you know, as a landlord, if you get it wrong, if it goes wrong,
Oh.
wow, if you fall foul of the law, of the regulation, oh my goodness.
But we're not very good as an industry getting that across, are we?
Well, people think it's easy. People think, oh, I can go and do lettings or sales, and
Just whack it on Rightmove, go to OpenRent, 39 quid.
it's it's not an easy thing.
It isn't easy.
And
so you know, if you were running Countrywide today, and you was or other firms that shall remain nameless, how would you be telling your guys and girls to say, right, okay, you know, we're losing stuff to OpenRent, we need to prove our worth?
So you can only do it by having very well trained staff that actually feel confident about telling if they explain to the landlord on the market appraisal, these are the things you've got to deal with. We would find that our instructions came from people with experience. All the valuers had experience, and they would explain what was. Some wanted to go let only. We couldn't get everything, of course, but most of the time people say, oh, actually that sounds a bit
Training.
And
isn't it amazing that, you know, I challenge anyone to name more than 5 letting agency trainers?
Yeah, well, we had loads. Yeah.
Well, there you go. But you were a force to be reckoned with. And there's a link, isn't there, between training and developing your team, because you said it was a people business, and being successful.
And one of the things we did from the outset is pay people, give them a pay rise once they passed ALA level 1, and another pay rise when they are passed. It was an incentive to learn, not just us saying you've got to learn.
It's not hard to, you know, you've got to put the work in, but it ain't that hard, is it?
No. And actually, once they've all passed, they get a pay rise and think, oh, I feel much better about life because I understand more and I know more and I can actually win more.
It was
business.
a win-win. They learn, they do more. They were.
What could be wrong with that? So the deal offer would be, I don't know, you can earn, I'll make it up, 10,000, but if you get to level 1, you get 12,000, you get 14,000, whatever the scale was. But
it was a win-win.
So they had a goal. They get pay rises and they get knowledge.
Do you think
knowledge is power?
Do you think RoPA will make any difference if it comes?
Oh, I think I'd love it. I mean, I would think it's a great thing to have. Of course, it would help regulate the industry. And many of my old colleagues from Countrywide are true believers in it. I would, yes, it would definitely make a difference. It will make a difference to the public. What you've got to be careful of is other agents. So other agents coming into the market without experience drive fees down. And that makes it harder for professional agents to have all the equipment and the training staff. And so we don't want to race to the bottom on fees. And RoPA will start to avoid that because you'll have to have professional people, pay proper money, and it's got to be good. Yeah.
Final words. Let's just say there's a chap called Michael or Ed watching this video, which again, I just totally made up names. What would your message be to those people?
Well, I'm sure they know, but look after the people. When you acquire businesses, it's often those people. You're not buying a business, you're buying a group of people that actually run that business. Make sure you integrate them. Countrywide with a fantastic integration team. We're 20 on the integrations team. Bedding them in, trading them out immediately. Our systems were different to any other. Technology. Don't rush to move their account systems. Don't rush to do things. To make sure you get the business right. And
get them bought in first before you start changing things.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it too much. That's what they say. And I think that's very important.
There you go. I hope you're listening, Michael and Ed. Anyway, thank you for your time today.
Welcome.